End of the year patch notes for Mechwarrior Online. Hi friends, I'm TTB. Welcome back to Mechwarrior Online News. The patch notes for the 12th of December 2023 have just dropped. And there is a lot to talk about, so let's talk about it piece by piece. So, PGI wants to say thank you to all the Mech Warriors for the continued participation in and support of Mechwarrior Online Legends. Yep, we're happy to support, we're happy to play the game. They want to celebrate with us in the form of many events and gifts with the Stocking Stuffer event that's currently running with the 12 days of Treasure Hunt event. There will be 2 free mechs this month and lots more stuff detailed below. Talking about all the cool mechs that we had this year, the Atlas Warlord, which was one of my favorites, the Vapor Eagle Gorbing, that is not frightening but kinda lackluster in my opinion, the Centurion Onyx, which has an amazing shield that is a lot of fun to try out, and then of course the crazy stuff like the Gausszilla and the True Urbies that I believe are gonna get a buff this patch, so maybe PGI is watching my tier list. No, they don't, but it's nice to see the buff happening here. And then we will also, I was talking about the 2 new maps, Scrapyard and Bear Claw 2. New stuff like the binary laser cannons, X-Pulse lasers that have been added, and other adjustments. And they give out a big thank you to everybody. Once again, forgetting to mention all the content creators on YouTube and Twitch that keep engaging the community and producing content. So, non-self-serving thank you to all the content creators out there as well, because you guys are engaging your own little communities, you're keeping the game interesting and fun with them. So don't stop. Okay. We all talked about the MWO Comp Championship Series finals already. Congratulations to EQ for taking top spot. If you guys were able to nab one of those special mech models that they were giving out at the end, then good on you, but there was only a 2-day time frame to redeem that. December has some events and sales ongoing. We talked about the Phoenix Protocol event already that's currently going on. There's the Advent event currently going on. Stocking Stuffer, of course, is going to be back. And then, of course, free mechs. We'll get to that in a second. And yes, just keep an eye out for all of these events and jump in. There will be a Christmas treasure hunt where you get to hunt down developers and content creators. Well, first time I hear about this, so okay. New Legendary Battle Mechs, here we go. The 2 new Legendary Battle Mechs this month are going to be the Longbow Spitfire and the Stone Rhino Axum. These, of course, will come with a battle pass attached to it. Those battle passes, as always with the legendary mechs, are super fair. You don't have any time limit. You just finish it whenever you want to, and they're gonna have like GSP, C-bills, MCE, premium time, and cockpit items attached to themselves, plus bolt-ons and decals and colors. It's always a nice thing to do these battle passes. Now, let's have a look at the Spitfire. The Spitfire is gonna be yet another longbow, and let's have a look at what we get here. I can already see that there's a couple of PPCs right there. And this right here looks like rocket launchers. Let's keep scrolling down. Spitfire is spitting a lot of missiles. Yeah. Yep. This amount of missiles looks increasingly realistic to me, together with PPCs. Let me tell you how that screenshot looked like. Let me tell you how that screenshot looked like in the making of the screenshot. They pressed override. They have everything in one weapon group. They pressed the firing button, they got this little screenshot, and this mech exploded 2 seconds later. Just saying, guys, be aware of that. You do this with this mech, you're dead 2 seconds later. Guaranteed. Okay, now, here we go to the internals of the mech. The mech comes equipped with 2 PPCs, 6 Rocket Launcher 20, and 4 Rocket Launcher 15. This is apparently PGI's way of saying, oh, you wanted to play some 1v1 events in the arena? Have fun. I don't know why we need yet another rocket launcher boat. Personally, I detest these kinds of mechs, but here it is. What can you do, right? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan because I don't like builds that just shoot once and then that's it. Let's have a look at the quirks. Well, not only is this mech going to bring 10,000 rocket launchers, they also thought it a good idea to quirk the rocket launchers to have a heat skill limit +3, so you can basically shoot each side of this mech at once. So yeah, you can basically one-shot a mech, and then you're gonna be basically be useless and or dead, depending on whether you alpha strike it or not. But let's say you don't alpha strike it, then you're gonna be 2 PPCs for the rest of the match. But of course, you get to ruin that one person's day. So I don't know about that. For rocket launchers specifically, not a fan. There's also gonna be an inner sphere Lerm heat skill limit on the Lerm 5s. So theoretically, I don't know if it's even gonna be needed, but theoretically you could run this with 14 Lerm 5s, which could be interesting. That could be interesting. That could be a fun thing to try out. The rocket launchers, me personally, this is just me personally talking, like some people just like to be suicide bombing people in javelins and whatnot. So yeah, by all means, if you need that, if that gets your blood pumping, go for it. Okay, moving on. The Stone Rhino ECM. So remember what the inner sphere got? This is what the clans get. I don't know, I'm just looking at this and I'm liking the clan toy a lot more. That looks like an 8 AC2 build, or 8 UAC2 build. It looks like 8 UAC2s actually, because it's got the triple barrel loadout. Let's jump into the loadout screen. Yeah, 8 UAC2s, XL300, it's got jump jets, lots of ammo, lots of cooling. This is gonna be a fun mech. I wonder if this is gonna rival the Ultraviolet. I think it's gonna rival the Ultraviolet, just because of the fact that you can swap out the engine. So this is gonna be a good one, and it's gonna have some good convergence as well, because you're only shooting from the torsos, not from the arms. So the ECM, in my opinion, especially for those long-range builds, it's gonna be only ballistics, by the way. Especially for those long-range builds, I think you're looking at an S tier mech right there. For that specific use case. Let's have a look at the quirks. What do we get? 10% less heat, that's not bad. Plus some extra armor and critical hit chance receiving. And minus 65% screen shake. That's a cool little quirk right there. That is a cool little quirk. I would like to see this on more assault mechs. By the way, would be nice to have something like that on an Atlas. I'm just saying. I like the quirk. I would like to see it on more mechs. Let's see, did I miss any quirks on the Spitfire? Except, of course, armor and structure the mechs get per default. Nope, that's it. That's it. Okay. Alright, so just looking at this, my personal opinion, pass, bye. Now then, December free battle mechs. There's gonna be 2 free battle mechs. The first one is gonna be a Warhammer 6R. Will come with a 30% C-Bill bonus and has a Santa cap to top it off. That is glorious. There's also a new Commando variant, the Commando DO3, that will also come with a 30% C-Bill bonus. These are basically hero mechs then, right? So, Warhammer 6R. It actually has a Santa cap bolt-on on top. That is perfect. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's have a look at the weapon loadout. This looks like a very standard Warhammer though. Like, you're gonna have to adapt this because you don't want to take this out in this current form. You're gonna be dead and very sad if you do that. But the paint job is just spot on and the Santa cap is amazing. I love it. Quirks will be PPC, Velocity, PPC Heat Gen, Energy Heat, and 10% cooldown. So all in all, nice set of quirks. Could be a fun mech to play, definitely. Then the Commando, DO3, is going to be an all-torso, and I believe these are cockpit mounts, Commando. That's gonna have the small cockpit, apparently. No arm mounts. Here is the loadout screen. Started engine 175, of course you want to XL this thing immediately. no questions asked. And then comes with ferrofibro, endosteel, and double heatsinks though. Also has mask, so it's gonna be a mask commando that is all torso weapons. Shooting from the center. So this is gonna be amazing for like peeking tight corners. Because all of your weapons are shooting in one axis. Perfectly lined up, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it has a small cockpit. Alright, as far as quirks are concerned, we are getting 20% inner sphere small laser range and 20% inner sphere small pulse laser range. So 5 SPL could be very interesting on this build. Or a mixture of small lasers and medium pulses like they have in there. With the XL engine, you could do a lot of things actually. Phoenix Hawk says compact gyro. That is a compact gyro. Compact gyro light. So this stuff is also new. Good spot. Good spot. You could put 2 large lasers in the CT if you wanted to, by the way. I will have to experiment with this. I don't know if it's going to fit tonnage-wise, but you definitely want to XL this. Okay, so these 2 free mechs look interesting, look fun, nice paint jobs. I enjoy that. Is that a... Nah, it's like a little face or something. Okay. New bundles of joy. Patch day will also see bundles of joy. These are, of course, web store bundles that you can purchase with battle mechs. And there will be a Warhorn bundle that they haven't announced yet what's going to be, but it's never before offered Warhorn bundle. So hopefully this is going to be something good. Because if it is, then that would be definitely something that we need to take a look at or a listen to. Now comes the part about weapon adjustments. LUM5 is now using its own heat penalty group, unlinked from any other LRMs. LUM5 can be used to complement larger launches without contributing to their total heat scale threshold count. So, what does this mean? Let's say you have 2 LRM20s. You could add up to 6 LRM5 on top without getting any ghost heat. So basically LRM5 is now behaving like SRM2, and ATM3 is going to behave the same way. So they're going to be on their own heat penalty group. Nice. That's a good change. Clan LRM5, of course, the same thing. But Clan LRM5 will share the heat penalty group that they're in, the new one, with Clan ATM3. So so you can't do 6 Clan ATM3s and 6 Clan LRM5s. I'm not saying any mech can hold that, but you couldn't do that because you would incur ghost heat then. Yeah, they need to do this with the Longbow coming out, says chat right there, and they're 100% correct. Clan ATM3s, same thing, own heat penalty group, but they are going to be sharing the heat penalty group with the Clan LRM5s. Rotary autocannons are getting changed. Let's talk about the node first. Rotary autocannon damage per second, heat generated per second, and total potential damage from a ton of ammo for all the racks remains unchanged. The only thing that's happening here is they're increasing the amount of bullets being spit out and decreasing the amount of damage each bullet does. That's the only thing that's happening here. So the rate of fire is going to be 10 rounds per second for both racks. Rack 2 is going to be 0.66 damage per round. Rack 5 is going to be 1.1 damage per round. And ammo per ton is also going up. But overall, like, if you keep your shot on target, you're going to do the same damage. Then, Hyper Assault Gauss Rifle changes. It's not a change, it's a cosmetic change. Hack Gauss shells and sparks are now purple, so they are distinguished from normal Gauss shells. That's a good change. That helps you just like realize, are you just getting hit by like a fraction of a hack salvo, or just getting hit by normal Gauss. So that's nice. That will give a nice visual cue, I think. We'll see how much we can see that, of course, later on. Equipment adjustments. The advanced sensor package can be equipped by all inner sphere mechs now. Currently, we can only equip it on heavies and assault mechs. I would have liked to see this come down by half a ton or so, but yeah, it's good to be able to equip that on other mechs right now. Like maybe the Blackjack with the MPXs. We'll see. And now here comes the big one. This is the big change that they have been teasing for a while. I don't think it's a huge change, but it is a change that will be interesting to see how the change actually ends up impacting the game. Single heatsinks. The first 10 single heatsinks equipped on any mech, including ones that includes the ones that come with the engine. So that means up to the first 10 heatsinks. If you use a 300 engine, that's going to have 10 heatsinks internally. 250 is going to have 10 heatsinks internally. And then from there on out, the heatsink numbers just go down. That's why you have to equip external heatsinks, of course. But they will all provide 0.18 heat per second dissipation. So that is a slight increase for the single heatsinks included in the engine and the first total 10 heatsinks on the Mech. Every single heatsink after that remains unchanged at 0.15 heat per second dissipation. Okay. Clan double heatsinks getting a slight nerf. The clan double heatsink dissipation rate has been reduced to 0.2 heat per second from 0.22. That is a small nerf and will also affect both internal engine heatsinks and externally mounted heatsinks. Reason being, this is just me paraphrasing right now, I don't know if I'm hitting it correctly, but this is what I'm thinking is going on. You've got these insane clan laser volleys that they can shoot pretty often. One way of taking that down a little bit is, of course, the changes that they made to how cool shots perform last month. And then this month, what we're getting is that the clan double heatsinks will dissipate less heat per second. So what does that mean? It means the clan laser vomits will still be there, but they should be shooting at a little bit less frequency right now. Because there's no change in the amount of heat that can be stored in your heatsinks, right? So you can still have your big alpha vomit, but you're gonna dissipate less per second. That's what, 10% or so nerf? 9-10% nerf. So if anybody tells you clan laser vomit is dead now, I would say bullshit. That's absolutely not going to be true. I wonder where we go from here. I wonder what the numbers are going to say. I think there might be another nerf coming in the future. They might leave it at that. I don't think it's gonna be impacting the clans insanely much, but I think you're gonna feel it. Not in the heat build-up initially, like that first shot or whatever. It's gonna be almost the same, but it's gonna be a little bit slower in cooling down again. And since clans have super lightweight equipment, a lot of space available because of their XL engine being so small, like two hardpoints smaller, and the 2 critical slots smaller, sorry, and the clan double heatsinks also being 2 critical slots instead of 3 on the inner sphere side, they could just stuff a lot more heatsinks into their mechs, which gave them an insane advantage that they already had on top of the range advantage and everything else. So that is to bring down clan dominance a little bit. We'll see how good the effect is. Looking forward to this change. ECM is getting nerfed across the board. Both clan and sphere jamming bubble radius reduced to 90 meters. So that is a 25% nerf to ECM bubble range. Includes both disruption distance and friendly protection distance. So that should be making the lives of people that use LRMs, ATMs, or streaks a little bit easier. For streaks, I'm still maintaining that streaks need to have a dumb fire mode like LRMs have right now. They could use the same logic and the same technology for that. I think that would be a really, really important change to make streaks great again, or usable again. Right now, I wouldn't recommend to use streaks, but this is going to make lock-on missiles have an easier time. Now we're going to battle mech adjustments. The Vindicator St. Ives Blues gets an additional missile hardpoint to the left torso. 3 missile hardpoints in its left torso now. So that means 3 SRM4s, 3 SRM6 in the St. Ives? Maybe. All Centurion models will get matched torso and arm agility stats with the Onyx, which means they're going to be twisting faster by almost 40 degrees per second more, and the arm actuation rate is also up 30 degrees per second. The 9D and the Yenlo Wang just have the torso agility increased. Yeah, same values. And the Centurion Onyx also gets increased agility. Like we discussed on stream, guys, because you can't put the shield on front of your torso actively, you gotta have extra turning speed, so that's gonna help that mech a little bit. A little bit disappointed still that this mech doesn't get like something like 10-20% range. That would have been a nice addition, in my opinion. And then Longbow 12R and 12R special variant. Cockpit shake reduced from the jump jets and make consistent with other mechs with jump jets. Okay. I think there was an opportunity here to give the Longbows a couple of better quirks. For example, the SRM Longbow that we rocked a couple of videos ago, I think definitely deserves a SRM heat skill limit +2. If something insane like the Stone Rider Coloss can have that, then I think there is no question in my mind that the Longbow should have that. And like I said, the other models, the laser hero mech on the Longbow, for example, I think should get something like Snapnose PPC heat skill limit or PPC heat skill limit or laser heat skill limit. Give it something. It needs to get something that puts it apart, because you're running a giant TIE bomber basically with extra pods on the sides. It needs to have something in return for that, in my opinion. Okay, now we're talking about mech quirk adjustments for the Urban Mech 2C first. Remember when we did the rating or the tier list on currently available legendary mechs? I rated the Hashkey and the Abaddon relatively low because they are just not that good, and they are getting adjusted now. We're getting 10% range, 50% machine gun rate of fire, and 20% reduced laser duration on the Hashkey. And the Abaddon gets 10% cooldown, 25% clan small laser family duration, and 25% clan small laser family range. Nice bit of improvements there. We're gonna test out these mecha afterwards. Thunderbolt, the 10 SE gets 15% missile cooldown. Nice. The Blight gets better survivor quirk bonuses, now matched with the Marauder 5 Delta. Longbow 12C, okay, there are some quirks, but not far enough, I would say, but hey. Longbow 12C gets 20% missile velocity, and the 12R gets 15% missile spread. So, slight adjustments. Okay, and this is something I'm keen to reading. Annihilator quirk adjustments. The 2A, 10% ballistic and energy heat, this is just a consolidation, 10% flat heat. The 1A, also 10% flat heat, and AC10 heat skill limit +1. Looks like the AC10 Annihilator is back on the menu, boys! That's gonna be interesting to try out. Annihilator 1X, also 10% flat heat, 1P, 10% flat heat. Laser cooldown on the 1P, 20% now. Interesting. The 1E, PPC family heat removed. Instead, it is just added to flat heat. And Snapnose PPC heat skill +1 is now PPC family heat skill limit +1. Okay. 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 See, that's interesting. That is very interesting. That is an interesting change. I like that a lot. And the Mean Baby, 20% less missile spread and just flat missile heat in case you ever wanted to run a Mean Baby with SRMs, which we have done in the past and it wasn't too bad. So that is nice. The missile spread is going to help at least with the long range MRMs as well. Then map adjustments. Added invisible boundary walls to Steiner Colosseum to prevent players from jumping to the upper levels. Finally! Great. Loving that. No more little shitters on top of the pylons where you can't hit them. And fixed multiple stuck points on Bearclaw 2. If you haven't played Bearclaw 2 in any amount yet, I think Bearclaw 2 has really good potential. I think Bearclaw 2 has a really good potential because it has very clear long-range lanes, but ways to break it up with cover and everything else, and also a lot of options to get into closer range fights. I'm really liking Bearclaw 2 a lot. Also, one of the only maps, if not the only map, that is RD strike and airstrike proof. Food for thought. Bug fixes. Jump jet screenshot on Longbow has been removed, and the victory camouflage on the Centurion Onyx has been fixed. Okay, I wasn't even aware of that. That was an issue there. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in this patch. A lot of good stuff in this patch. 2 free mechs. Let's reiterate. I think some good quirk adjustments. I'm looking forward to how the meta changes or will be adapted with the changes to clan double heatsinks. That's nice. 2 free mechs. 2 new legendary mechs. And events across the month. The only thing that I'm not sure about is this Longbow Spitfire. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of rocket launcher builds. That is just my personal opinion, right? I don't require you guys to share my opinion. I just don't like builds that just... It's like, I don't know. It's a suicide bomber basically. Don't like that. Not a fan of that. The Stone Rider though, This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting my hands on that. And of course, if we get our hands on a Spitfire, we'll play it as well. We'll see what we can make happen. I'm already thinking about weird things like X-Pulses and SRM2s. Like, you know, I'm already thinking about it. So we'll see. We'll see. And maybe I'll play it with the rocket launchers just so you guys shut up. Well, that has been the patch notes review for December 12th. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. As always, hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, good. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, supporters. Couldn't do it without you. If you want to join Team TTB, check out the join button right here on YouTube, super thanks button in the comment section, or of course the links to Patreon or the merch store listed in the video description.